Hey guys! Welcome back to the channel. It's time for more Phoenix Wright. Because let's be honest, our client looks very sus for murdering his ex-boss.
Hey, Nick.
What is it this time?
You won't believe how many people are here for the trial.
Well, it is a murder case.
What are you talking about? They're here for the trial next door.
Next door?
Why don't you know this, Nick? They're having Detective Admi's trial today.
Detective Admi?
They say they're gonna try him as Mask DeMasque.
Alrighty, that was fast.
Boy, I'd love to see Mask DeMasque's trial. I know.
By the way, where's Pearls?
Oh, she went back home. She said she can't neglect her training anymore.
I know you don't like me. Pearls has really gotten into her training lately, huh?
Yeah, ever since that incident last year.
Please, don't ignore me.
Oh, Mr. DeLite. Good morning.
No one likes me. No one would notice me, even if I killed someone.
Come on, don't be silly. Wait a sec.
You don't mean you're the murderer? No, I'm just a poor thief. No, wait, that's not right. A thief can't really be poor. Now, let's see. According to Mr. DeLite, from his second crime on, he was following a bunch of set plans. Plans that someone had been sending him to help him commit the heist.
You really think there's a connection between the thief and the murder, Nick?
It's possible, but today's trial is a race against the clock.
Huh? How come? Let's just take our time like always.
I'm afraid that's not an option.
Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Ron DeLite.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. You're ready. Preparation's the last refuge of the weak. I will eventually get Godot's voice right, but I feel like a lot of the times, like, I don't know how to, like, a lot of, like, vocal actors and stuff like that will kind of, like, prep and do, like, you know, vocal exercises and stuff like that, and I haven't really done those. I kind of just go into these on the fly, so like my voice isn't really warmed up, so maybe that's why I can't do rage. I don't know. I should probably actually look into that. Okay, settle down everyone. Let's begin with your opening statement, Mr. Godot. He's got the judge at the palm of his hand yet again. Ron DeLite is simply too young to be sent to war, and that's all.
I'm afraid I have no idea what that means, Mr. Godot.
Then you need to get out more, Your Honor. Life is war, but that is exactly why you must be precise in your wording. This man is so ridiculous, it's hilarious. That's all my statement means. You understand now, right?
Yes. Well then, let me briefly summarize the details of this case.
Well, the judge is taking charge like he knows what's going on for a change.
The victim is Kane, Bullard, CEO of KB Security. His body was found in a safe at approximately 9 a.m. on the morning of the 13th. However, the time of death was estimated at 1 a.m. on the previous day.
And that's when our little lost... Why do I regret giving Godot this voice? Fortunately, I'm not consistent enough in my voices that, like... This is... And that's when our little lost kitten dropped the ball. That little lost kitten is, of course, the defendant.
Very well then, Mr. Godot. Please call your first witness.
I never drink more than...
I
think that's a bit excessive, but depending on how long the trials are, that might be pushing your luck. I never drink more than 17 cups of coffee during any given trial. But the first one is always the best.
Mr. Godot, your witness? Zeppelin 102?
Okay then. Let's hear what the defendant, Mr. Ron DeLite, has to say for himself.
The defendant? Well, Mr. Wright, does the defense have any objections? Maybe a bit of a disadvantage having the defendant testify, but... I remember when Mia was defending me. She allowed me to testify so she could do the cross-examination. She put a lot of trust in me back then. We have no objections, Your Honor. The defense will allow Mr. DeLite to testify.
You've got guts, Trite.
Alright then, Mr. Ron DeLite, please take the stand.
Every time I do Godot, because I can't like talk loud when I do it, I always have to like, I lean in and then I have to like lean back every time I'm doing like conversations involving him, because it's like, okay. You did it, didn't you?
Yes.
What?
No. That's not true. Huh. For a moment there, I thought we'd set the record for the shortest trial ever.
Well, Mr. DeLite already looks plenty guilty with the face he's making.
And once he opens his big mouth, he'll probably put the last nail in his own coffin.
Very well. Now then, can you tell me something? If you didn't kill Mr. Bullard, why did you go to KB Security?
Well, that's kind of hard to say. Boy, I wish I could go home. Now then, let's hear some testimony about what happened. That evening, around 1 a.m., I went to see Mr. Bullard at his office at KB Security. The blackmail letter I got, it ordered me to go there. I'd been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. 1 a.m., the exact time the murder took place.
And the weak get washed away by the tides of fate. The strong drink it up. It's bitter today, too, just like my destiny.
You never know that from the way he's chugging it down. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please. Okay. I guess we could press about the reason for the... Because we don't have anything to contradict him. Like, we have nothing that contradicts him. All we have are these. Which, that looks sus, but this also looks sus. So I guess we should just press everything. 1 a.m., huh? You're absolutely sure about that? Yes, that's what my watch said when I was entering the CEO's office. No, actually, I'm not really sure. My watch was slow, and my internal clock was also a bit... 1 a.m., that's the exact time of the murder. Mr. Bullard was the victim, not the murder. Mr. Bullard, yeah, you get what I'm saying.
It's too late for a coffee date, that's for sure.
My God, why are you obsessed with coffee? It ordered you there. It was the first time I had gotten a blackmail letter that ordered me to go somewhere. Does that mean you've got another blackmail letter, son? Oh, of course. They'd say things like, steal this or take that. Why don't you say those for later, Mr. DeLite? Please don't say anymore. Now what should I do? I always say just press harder. Although in this case, this might be a dumb thing. Because, like, then he's gonna rant about stuff, but usually that's how we get more information. So what did the blackmail letter in question say? It said to bring $50,000.
Money, a perfect motive for committing crime. Murder.
Can't talk. Oh, but wait! I never intended to pay that money anyway. Oh? Is that right? After all, he had nothing to hold over my head. I had nothing to be afraid of. An important point indeed. Witness, let's have that added to your testimony. Yes, sir.
A money mud skipper in outer space that has a better chance of surviving than I do.
Just what were you being blackmailed about anyway? The blackmail letter said if you don't want your identity revealed, correct? I'm sure it was referring to the whole Mask DeMasque thing. But I wasn't worried. Mr. Bullard didn't have anything on me. He didn't? Anyway, I don't care what anyone says about me. Just as long as he believes in me.
So that's why Miss DeLite didn't believe it was Mask DeMasque.
That's why I knew they were just hollow threats. Huh.
You used to be a security chief for KB Security, right?
Yes, that's right. A security chief? You?
And yet, a year ago, you were fired without notice. Revenge for an old grudge? A perfect motive for murder, wouldn't you say?
Huh.
This isn't good. Maybe I should change the subject.
But I want to know. I want to know.
Mr. DeLite, please tell us why you were fired from your job.
Well...
The world is filled with those who have said, I wish I had never asked that. Oh, okay, I take it.
But I want to know. Defendant, please answer the question. I needed money.
You needed money?
Well, you see, Desi loves suspended. It's kind of her hobby. Not exactly the best hobby in the world, huh, Nick? My salary wasn't nearly enough, so I sold data from the company.
Come again.
KB Security has a lot of security info on all sorts of companies, and since I was security team chief,
you stole some data and sold it.
Mr. Bullard found out, and I was fired immediately.
What? I wish I had never asked that.
But, I want to know. I was somehow able to keep it secret and made it seem like I had quit on my own. What is it, Nick? You don't look so good.
Someone who brings harm to their company is fired as punishment. You do well to remember that.
He sure told you.
So you admit that you sold data from your own company, is that correct?
Yes, I'm sorry.
This is a very important fact. Please add it to your testimony. Oh man, this whole thing just took a big turn for the worse. Crashed and blew up. It's gonna take the jaws of life to rip this case from the clutches of disaster.
There is something though. I think he stole information. But then I think Kane was using this. And the thing is these numbers are particularly lowballing. So what if this was the price that he was buying it for and then selling it at triple the value? Using DeLite. That's kind of my guess. But then I feel like Admi has to be involved somehow. And the reason I say that is using the Shichishito, Admi knocked out Ron, then made it seem like he got knocked out in his fight with Mask DeMasque. That's just my gut feeling.
Why would you do something like that?
Well, for Desi's hobby, what else?
Wasting money, huh?
It's not a waste. So Miss DeLite doesn't know that her husband was fired, does she?
So it would seem.
I'm not sure what to think about couples who keep secrets like that from each other.
I can't believe it. This case has gotten even Maya to think seriously about couples.
Please try to stay focused, Mr. Wright. Huh? Wasn't much to his testimony, was there?
Sounds like he's avoiding something. At least that's what it sounds like to me.
Uh-oh. I've got a bad feeling about this. We'd better be careful.
If we don't find a way to make him spill the beans, we'll never get closer to the truth.
Yeah.
Okay.
What can
we press him on? Oh gosh. Okay, so I think it has to... It's not this. This list has to mean something. Ha. What if we use his... Could we use his own testimony? For the other blackmail letters? Because, like, I'm struggling to, like, figure out what else we're supposed to do. But that's, like, the only thing that I can think of. Okay, they say to press this. Just what were you being blackmailed?
Objection!
Okay. I'm afraid that reason isn't going to hold up anymore.
What do you mean?
The victim had no proof the defendant was Mask DeMasque. But you were the one who stole company secrets only 1 year earlier. But I was all over once I was fired. And it's true, the fact that I stole secrets was kept under wraps. Even so, there was no reason for me to pay up now, a whole year later.
Is that really true?
What is it, Nick?
The fact that Ron was stealing company data, I wonder if he would have had a problem if that ever became public knowledge.
Because Desi would find out.
Mr. DeLite, I believe you would have been in considerable trouble if your identity as a company data thief was made public.
Mr. Wright, what are you trying to do by bullying your own client? Men are like colonies of bacteria. The more heat you apply, the faster they grow.
That's exactly right.
Well then, feel free to keep up the heat, my little lawyer amigo.
Little lawyer amigo.
Yes, now come on. Provide some evidence to back up your assertion. Why would Mr. DeLite want to keep his data stealing secret from going public?
The only reason he's done anything.
Oh, they're the same age. Sorry, I'm now curious about ages. I don't want Desi to know.
Mr. DeLite, what do you say just now doesn't match up with what you told me yesterday?
Huh? What doesn't?
I think you must have been scared, very scared, of having a certain person find out your secret.
A certain person?
Miss Desiree DeLite, the defendant's wife.
But I... Listen to me, my Desi, she's... Looks like if I just sit back and relax, the fun will end before it truly begins.
Godot.
Yes, we know. It was all your wife's fault. What do you mean? Mr. DeLite stole company data to pay for his wife's spending habit for which he was fired. Unable to face his own wife, someone used his dirty little secret to blackmail him. And that is how the murder came about.
Oh, huh. No, everything is falling neatly into place for him.
Don't talk about my daddy like that, or you'll be sorry. Well, it seems we've learned a great deal of things here so far. What do you think, Nick?
I didn't think it was possible to get so thoroughly whipped in just 20 minutes.
Clearly, there was sufficient motive for murder. He stole data for his wife, and he killed to protect his secret. Family man who cared just a little too much.
The motive is clear. Let's move on.
What happened at the crime scene at 1 in the morning, Mr. DeLite?
Come now, tell us. We're all ears. I feel like sometimes I go a little bit too high when I do him. I don't know. I think that's just how my voice naturally goes. Well, when I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. Suddenly, I was hit on the forehead. After that, I remember being a bit dazed. If I hadn't been wearing that, I would have been killed. When I came to, Mr. Bullard was lying there, dead. I see. Suddenly hit on the forehead, huh? I believe the detective from yesterday provided similar testimony. Said that Mask DeMasque struck him on the head from behind. Of course, since Atomy turned out to be the culprit himself, that was all a lie. No one's going to believe a pathetic lie like that. What are you saying? I really was attacked. Well, find out if what you said is true or not during the cross-examination. Cut that, Mr. Wright. Don't go easy just because he's your client. If I see any signs that you are, I'll treat you to another cup of my special blend. You don't need to worry about that, Mr. Godot. I have faith in Ron. I know he didn't do it. Let's just press everything. Who is this suspicious shadow? There was 1,000 of me, and even if one knew, I would tell you, trust me. His dodging of all our questions is not helping us with this case. Okay, then how was the victim, Mr. Bullard, at that time? What do you mean by how was he? Was he already dead, or was he still alive? Maybe he was the one who hit you in the first place. That's a good question. What do you think? Forget it. Your forehead? Yes, I was hit on the forehead as soon as I entered the room. It was an amazing, fast, and powerful attack. Do you remember anything about who hit you? Well, like I said, it was a fast and powerful hit, so I think I was a little dazed for a while. I don't think Mr. DeLite even grasped what you were asking. Yeah, I'd like to show him a fast and powerful attack myself. Maybe that would knock some sense back into him. Could you please clarify what you were referring to? Why, my Mask DeMasque costume, of course. Wait, just a moment. Mask DeMasque? Huh? Oh, did I forget to mention it before? Just to be on the safe side, I dressed as Mask DeMasque. And then I descended upon the office of the CEO of KP Security. What?
Nick, did you know about this? You never told me this.
I don't recall him ever mentioning it to me either. Even I didn't know that. Seems our little friend really loves to keep secrets. I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. Wait, that's not right. You know how sometimes things just slip your mind? My 6th cup of coffee is staring at me coldly. At any rate, we can't ignore this new piece of information. Witness, please correct your testimony. Why were you dressed up as Mask DeMasque? Why? Because I'm Mask DeMasque, of course. What are you talking about? Mask DeMasque's trial is being held next door. Yes, I guess so. Anyway, at that time, I thought I was being blackmailed over the Mask DeMasque issue. So I thought I should go with him, just to be safe. Oh boy. Let me tell you, it's a real pain to move around with that cape. That's why it took a lot longer than I expected. Took a lot longer? What is he talking about? I think I'll wait and see how this develops.
Hey, why aren't you doing anything?
Because it'll probably end up causing more trouble. I'll tackle it once I'm mentally prepared.
I guess I should prepare myself for the worst, too.
Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. Okay. Joystick's a little bit wonky. Okay.
This, because we can't see, like, the dent in the forehead, I wonder.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Why is the stick being so finicky?
I have a theory.
When you came to.
Yes, I was passed out of the corner of the room.
Do you know when your assailant made their escape and where?
I'm afraid I don't really remember.
Huh.
Once they hit me, I lost all track of what was going on. I think that's when they made their escape.
That's certainly a convenient story for you, isn't it?
It certainly is, isn't it, Mr. Wright? It almost sounds practiced.
I don't know why you're telling me.
I heard this from Mr. DeLite yesterday, didn't we?
There's nothing much in his testimony either.
I bet you he's still hiding something.
I wouldn't be surprised. We'll just have to draw it out of him.
I just hope he doesn't make things any more complicated.
Okay.
I'm not... Okay. So there's nothing that we can really press here. There's nothing we can... The only thing that I feel like we can press is the fact if he lost his wallet where he did... Oh, this.
Okay.
Wait, did we press this?
Why were you dressed up as Mask DeMasque? Okay.
Okay. I thought we... Did I accidentally hit wait and see? Did I accidentally hit that?
What do you mean by took a lot longer?
Oh, opening the safe, of course. My cape got caught on the safe door, you see. This all happened when I was hiding Mr. Bullard's body. Like, we knew this happened. But why you gotta bring it up?
What was that?
Back up a second. Yes? You were the one that hid the body in the safe. Well, yeah. Inconceivable. Why? Just why? What reason could you have? What were you thinking?
Question. Why does someone toss their dirty shorts in the washing machine?
What?
The answer is simple. When they take them off.
As usual, I have no idea what you're saying.
You mean that Mr. DeLite hid the body because he's a murderer? So you're not as stupid as you look.
His metaphor this time was really obscure. Mr. Wright, you don't mean that you knew about this whole safe business, do you?
Oh, well, yes.
Why am I the only one not in the loop here? Witness, make sure you add this to the testimony. Yes, sir.
Uh-oh, looks like a storm is moving in over the fair weather judge.
I'm gonna press that real quick.
Why'd you hide the body in the safe anyway?
Well, because it wouldn't fit in the drawer.
My guy. That's not exactly what I meant.
When I saw the corpse, I kind of lost it. I thought, if they find his corpse, they'll think I did it.
I think you had a simpler reason than that. It's because you killed him. That's why you spent 10 minutes hiding the body.
That certainly makes more sense.
Hold on. 10 minutes?
What is it, Nick?
I just had a thought. Under those circumstances, would you normally try to hide the body? And spend 10 whole minutes to do it?
Under those circumstances? What circumstances? Oh! Hey, Nick. If you think his behavior was so strange, why don't you present some evidence that would show just what those circumstances were?
I'll take a look at the court record and present some evidence.
I heard this from Mr. DeLite, yes. Okay, so I must have accidentally hit it because...
Objection!
Your Honor, could you please take a look at this record?
And what might this be?
The record for the emergency buzzer that connects the CEO's office to security. If the button in the office is pressed, the security team is supposed to come running. And according to this record, the button was pushed once at 1:02 a.m.
What?
If Mr. Ron DeLite truly was the murderer, he would have ran as soon as that buzzer sounded. After all, the security guard would have been heading his way.
Objection!
Let's remember who we're dealing with here. He probably had no idea there were security personnel in the building.
Objection!
Up until 1 year ago, my client was working as a chief of security. There's no way he wouldn't have known about them.
Objection!
But, as it turns out, the garden never came. That was nothing more than a coincidence. The fact that the guard was a pathetic loser who had just gotten punched in the face by his ex's new boyfriend and wasn't anywhere in the vicinity was not something Mr. DeLite could have known.
Objection!
Again, remember who we're dealing with here. It's a sure bet that Mr. DeLite didn't even notice the buzzer going off.
Objection!
His buzzer is extremely loud. There is no way he could have ignored something like that. If he had been conscious, that is.
Conscious? What do you mean by that?
Fine. Let's hear your theory. Recall the defendant's testimony. The moment he entered the victim's office, someone attacked him. Mr. DeLite said he felt dazed. I'm willing to wager that he was knocked unconscious for at least a few minutes.
Unconscious? So he fainted.
That's why Mr. DeLite didn't know that a buzzer had sounded. And that's why he thought he had time to hide the body. So what you are trying to say is... Mr. DeLite was knocked out and the buzzer went off soon afterwards. Now, unless my client was able to hit the button while he was unconscious, it can only mean that there was another person in that room. That's right, whoever it was, they knocked out Ron DeLite and then pressed the buzzer.
Order of the court. Mr. Wright, this is...
Objection!
This is preposterous. It was this kid. Ron DeLite is the one who killed Kane Bullard. Then who pressed the buzzer? It was... the victim, of course. He pressed the button when the defendant attacked him. He didn't die right away. He must have held on long enough to push that button.
But there were no fingerprints! There were no fingerprints! He wouldn't have had time to wipe them if there were no fingerprints. Huh. So Kane Bullard sounded the buzzer himself. What is your opinion on this, Mr. Wright?
It's not accurate.
We should be able to prove it because there were no fingerprints on it. Let me double check something. We don't have any proof that he wore, like, hold on, there's one thing I want to check now. Oh my gosh. He's not wearing a cape. He has the old outfit, but he's not wearing the cape. Or is he? Hold on. Dang it, I think he's wearing the cape. Shit. I felt like I was onto something. There were no fingerprints.
That's what I'm thinking.
The defense's opinion in this, Your Honor. This piece of evidence proves that it wasn't the victim who sounded the buzzer.
There were no fingerprints. Or was he wearing gloves? We don't have any information that he was wearing gloves. It's like we can't see hands. I'm going with the fingerprints. I'm assuming he's not wearing gloves.
I believe this is a piece of incontrovertible evidence you were looking for.
The emergency button. Is there some kind of clue on it?
Absolutely not.
Hey, come on now. At least give it some thought to what you were saying before you open your mouth.
The fact that there are absolutely no clues is itself the clue.
Now I'm the one who's clueless.
This button has no fingerprints on it. If Mr. Bullard had really pressed it himself, naturally he would have left his fingerprints behind.
Objection!
Ron DeLite obviously wiped them off.
Objection!
Why would he? The guard could have come in at any moment. He touched that button. I know he did!
Objection!
The defendant, Mr. DeLite, was dressed as Mask DeMasque. And Mask DeMasque always wears gloves. What reason could he have possibly have to wipe the button free of fingerprints?
Order, order, order!
It would seem I've been forced to eat crow.
My guy, pick better metaphors.
I wonder what blend number crow flavored coffee is.
However, if the real killer was there at the scene, why would that person press the emergency buzzer? Shouldn't they have run away without putting themselves in extra danger? What's with this awkward silence all of a sudden?
It looks like you're fresh out of parlor tricks.
They're on to you, Nick.
Just give me a minute to collect my thoughts. The real culprit killed Mr. Bullard at around 1 a.m. And Mr. DeLite just happened to waltz in when the murder was taking place, right? That's not the right voice, but it's fine. The killer clobbered Mr. DeLite and then sounded a buzzer.
Even though security was supposed to respond right away if the buzzer was pressed.
Security was supposed to respond.
Time's up, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you have to say.
Very well then.
You've got some guts. I like that in an opponent.
Why did the real killer sound the emergency alarm? To pin it on DeLite.
The killer knew that if they pressed that button, the guard would come running. And that was exactly what they wanted.
Do you mean to say the killer called the guard on purpose?
Yes, although as it turned out he never showed up.
Because he was getting his clock cleaned at the time.
What a touching story. You're saying the killer had a change of heart and called the guard to turn himself in?
No, I'm not. When that buzzer sounded, there were 3 people in that office. The victim, Kane Bullard, who was already dead. The defendant, Ron DeLite, who was out cold. And the third person, the real killer.
Why do they keep showing at me as the mask? Like, it just feels too obvious. But I guess, honestly, as a player, you've already had your, doubt. But it feels like it's, you're kind of just being a little bit too obvious by instead of just being a shadow. But having, the distinctive marks, especially of, Admi's monocle. Hypothetically, yes.
Now then, in this situation, if the real killer made an escape, what would happen? The only ones left in the room would be the victim and Ron DeLite.
And if any security came running in at that time, they would think I was the murderer.
Yes, that was precisely the real killer's objective. To frame Ron DeLite for the murder.
Order! 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 It would seem I've been made to eat my words once again.
Actually, you've been made to do a spit take with a cup of coffee.
Mr. Wright, who was it? Who was it that tried to frame me? Wait a second. I'm the one and only Mask DeMasque, so...
Nick, you mean the real killer is...
We're going to drag that person in here right now.
But, who is it?
I don't have any solid proof yet, but think about it. The killer knew Mr. DeLite's identity, and they also knew that he had been called to KB security that night. So, the killer used him to execute a well-crafted plan to murder Kane Bullard. Now then, let's hear your accusation, Mr. Wright. Who was it that framed Mr. Ron DeLite for the murder of Kane Bullard? It's the person they kept pushing for us to say it was. With all the shadows. Detective Luke Adamy. He's the only one who could have done it. He's a detective. Luke Adamy? You mean Mask DeMasque did it? Your Honor, the person being tried in the court next to us is not Mask DeMasque at all. He is in actuality the true murderer of Kane Bullard. Order! Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Theft and murder, which is a more serious crime? They're not even close. Murder is the more serious crime, of course. It's a capital crime punishment. Capital crime subject to a capital punishment. Please remember the trial from yesterday if you would. When Luke Adamy confessed, there was a huge commotion in the courtroom. Of course, the famous detective was unmasked as well. Mask DeMasque. Instead of being convicted of murder, he was found guilty of grand larceny. That was his true objective all along. To be found guilty? Mask DeMasque had the perfect alibi for when the murder took place. He was stealing the urn at Lordly Tailor. In other words, being found guilty as Mask DeMasque was Luke Adamy's airtight, watertight, and unassailable alibi. Guilty verdict? As an alibi? Wasn't that also what Ron was trying to do? Be found guilty of being Mask DeMasque so that he would have the alibi to not be suspected for Kane Bullard's murder? Like, wasn't that literally what he was trying to do as well? You know, it's almost time. For what? For Luke Adamy's verdict. It's a pretty simple trial, after all. If we're going to stop this trial and stall that one, we need to do it now. Of course. That's assuming you have proof that the detective was the one who committed the murder. Mr. Luke Adamy's trial has indeed attracted attention of the entire country. If it were to intrude, and fail to provide adequate proof of this true crime, Mr. DeLite would be left with no grounds for appeal. Am I really sure about this? A bet's only good when your life's the ante. Mr. Wright, I believe in you. Mr. DeLite? So, please, I'm begging you. Thanks, but my decision will determine the rest of your life. Can I really risk your life like this? Phoenix? What was that? Don't stray, Phoenix. For your client, take the path of trust. That voice sounds like Mia. Your Honor, the defense requests an immediate recess. So that's your answer, huh? Very well, I've decided as well. This court will now take a 20-minute recess. Mr. Wright, when we return, please summon Mr. Luke Adamy to the stand. Yes, Your Honor. Oh, goodness. I had to take like a tiny break because like my voice was hurting. Oh, it's this guy.
Oh, sir, Detective Adamy.
I have to say, Mr. Payne, you performed splendidly.
Oh, no, sir, Detective Adamy, you are the one who...
That's enough.
This court sees no reason to further prolong this trial. This court finds the defendant Luke Abney.
Hold it!
Wait, don't hand down your verdict yet, please.
Well, well, Sir Lawyer, welcome to my courtroom.
Who's this hoser, eh?
Why is he kidding me?
My name is Phoenix Wright, attorney at law, and I wish to file an accusation against this man, Luke Abney.
Accusation? You accuse Mask DeMasque?
That man is not Mask DeMasque. He's just a ruthless murderer. What?
Ta-da!
And that's gonna be it. It's bad. I took a break because I assumed that was going to be it. Like, I was like, oh, okay, we're gonna be getting into that part. And then it's like, nope. That's it. I literally was like, I need to take a break from my mouth and then it, like my voice. And I was like, no, you really didn't need to because you had like 2 more minutes of filming. But that's gonna be it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be back, I'm presuming, for more of this trial and seeing Luke Abney be, you know, found guilty of murder. Anyways, I will see y'all then. Bye.